it to me, baby.
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. 3, 2, 1.
All units, please respond. We got a 7467. 2 idiots spilling the tea about their neighbors.
Welcome to Crazy Rich Neighbors.
Fit, fierce, and fab.
Not me.
Not me either, boo.
There goes the neighborhood.
I think it would be me.
There goes the neighborhood.
Hey, Snatch Bougie crew and flabby CRN trolls and us. Special shout out to Darcy from Mila's Believe.
Yes,
Aw.
Darcy sent us a beautiful email.
She did.
Hi, Mia and Tiffany.
Aw.
And this episode was so funny. That was episode 174, I believe.
Aw.
She says, I could not stop laughing. And also, thank you for mentioning Mila's Belief a few months ago. That was your Bougie Bible pick, Mia.
Yes.
She just wanted to thank us. She sent us a note, but it got returned as undeliverable.
Oh no, that's
But
strange.
Great news. Mila's Belief just assisted their 125th Florida family this year thanks to the generous support of all y'all.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And
Congratulations.
Yes, and shout out to crazy Uncle Mike and his beautiful wife. And we're so happy that the charity's doing so well. They do this with all of their heart and soul. If you want a clean charity to donate to in South Florida, it's them.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
And
Yes.
she says, love your podcast. It's her favorite part of Tuesday mornings.
Welcome to the Bougie
And
crew.
Darcy wishes us much success.
Thank you, Darcy.
Thank you, Darcy. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend, tell a friend.
Got a question, a comment, or your own Buckwild neighbor story? Leave us a message, 239-300-7276.
And to sponsor our massive, awesome show that's skyrocketing to email us at info@crazyrichneighbors.com. And shout out to our sponsor. How could I forget?
Take them for granted. They're all we got. Boo.
Awesome Podcast Junkie studio right here in Boca Raton. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Love you guys. Love you, Ben. Love you, Christian.
Full video
Thank you.
episodes, we'll come back to you, are available on our Crazy Rich Neighbors YouTube channel. Subscribe and share. And to our new listeners and our new subscribers and viewers on YouTube, welcome to the neighborhood. It's extremely sick and twisted.
Yes, but it's always fun.
Yes, queen.
So you marveled over her misadventure in Manalapan, where the neighbors swing more than the golfers. Welcome back to the host of the Do It Anyway podcast, Maria Redman. Hey, Maria.
Thank
You
you.
came back. You were so brave.
You're a Bougie Crew favorite.
Yes.
I love you guys. It was an awesome show, and I'm happy to be here with you.
Oh,
all
we're
again
so
today.
thrilled. As soon as we finish, we're like, you have to come back.
Yes. She's like our Bougie Crew. Like, she's our CRN dream guest, okay?
I know.
Hot scoops, hot bod, open, and just...
Yes, not afraid to spill some tea.
Oh, not afraid to spill the tea.
Oh,
For what? Afraid
Your
of
tea was
who? For
steamy
what?
too, boo.
You're like, I'm the queen of my empire, honey.
We loved
Who
it.
can check me, boo?
Exactly. No one's going to check me.
Yes, she Basharay.
Oh,
And running the board is our very own Benjamin.
Hello, hello.
bonjour,
What's
Benjamin.
up, you
Bonjour,
guys?
Benjamin.
Oh, it's so nice to be here. So nice to be back. And Maria, welcome. Welcome back. Love to see you. So
I
yeah.
feel like I live here because
I know, so do we.
I shoot, then I shoot again. I'll be
Yes.
here all
Yeah.
evening, and then Ben and I have to hang out.
Yes.
I know, and our podcasts usually go for like 2 or 3 hours. It's like,
my
we
gosh.
just sit here and just end up talking. It's crazy.
Hey.
Well, we got him liquored up for you, so he's really going to be a treat.
Exactly. We give him all our auntie advice, life advice.
Yeah. Do you give
okay?
him life advice?
I do. Yeah, we have interesting conversations about
Yes.
life and friendships and
Romance,
family,
I'm sure.
everything.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And Ben's so open, and I wish I had somebody like advising me that was
I know.
older who could
Yes.
give me the hardcore wisdoms and unabashed. Like, we're not freaked out by his stories.
Right.
We
Well,
embrace them.
some of that, like that one, episode 127.
127 episode.
Favorite episode.
That
Jesus.
freaked me out.
Yeah, that was.
But that wasn't even you. In fairness,
That wasn't even me.
it happened
wasn't
to
me.
you.
It wasn't
I don't
me.
think it happened for you, but it happened to you.
Oh boy. All right.
Snaps. Oh Lord.
Anyways,
Anywho,
I digress.
y'all
Moving right along.
Y'all will discover that on your own.
Episode 127.
So speaking of
Did you watch
perversion,
that? Did you watch that one, Maria? I don't know.
I've been on all of their stuff.
Thank you, girl. And you still come on air. Oh Lord,
One
you
does not
brave.
merely go on someone's show without doing homework.
Oh, and we didn't scare you away. Like I'm like, oh Lord, I hope she doesn't listen and get scared.
yeah, we're whiskey booking.
Yes.
So speaking of perversions, how's your neighborhood?
Did any of your neighbors hear?
You know, I don't know. I did see one of my neighbors, Erica, in the Publix. I typically see
Right.
her.
Hi,
during the
Queen.
weeks.
Shout
And,
out.
yeah,
Hey,
hi,
girl, if you're
Erica.
listening.
And I know she listens to my podcast, so I'll have to turn on to this one.
Yes.
But, you know, I was asking her how things are going, anything new happening in the neighborhood, and there will be an invite coming out shortly for Halloween. So
We can go in disguise.
Yes. So that was exact. I was thinking, great costume.
Oh my God.
Good time to do some reconnaissance. So,
I'm gonna go in one of those really fat sumo wrestler outfits, so nobody tries to, do anything to me.
Oh my
Well, I know.
God. You can be in one of those latex suction things.
You know those blow up sumo
Oh,
wrestler ones?
Jesus.
They inflate.
So we'll have to see. So I'll be waiting to see that come
You're
around
gonna
so
give
we
us
can
away
go.
with that
I
cover.
know.
They're
So-
gonna know.
So I can't. I
They're
can't,
gonna know you're not there for
I can't
legit
tell
purposes.
Eric.
I'm there for the buffet. That'll be a legit.
That'll be legit for the food.
That's on brand.
Can't tell Erica that about this show just yet.
Correct.
So,
Would she? Would they? Would yeah? We didn't boost the post there
Yeah,
just in
right.
case. We want to
we
blow our
didn't.
cover.
No.
But would they
Or
allow you to
yours.
bring 2 guests?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can.
And
bring
then
guests.
it's early.
Will they
Yeah.
expect us to?
No,
Okay.
absolutely
Okay.
not.
All
That's one
right.
thing I did like about, when I said when I went last time, there was no one pressured me in anything.
Okay.
There was another room of people just having conversation while everybody else was just doing
I
whatever
love
the
it.
hell
It's a
they were doing.
judgment-free zone
Right.
of consenting
Yes,
adults.
Of consenting adults. You do
I
whatever.
do not consent.
I
And
do not consent.
and the parties are early.
Yeah, they were early.
Right?
It was during the day. I
Right.
told you it was during
Yeah.
the day.
So the
Darty.
Halloween party would probably be during the day
It probably
too.
would be during
Okay, see if you can get plus 1, 2, 3.
Hey, you know what?
bring it back.
I'll even come. I'll come too. I'll even-
And we brought him.
We'll get freaky though.
Oh Lord!
Oh, jeez.
Hey, we'll have so much content.
Oh, child.
Let's please bring
The
Ben.
whole last quarter of the year will be Ben's freaking at the party.
So I'll be working on that for us.
Okay.
girl. we
So I thought there was going to be a neighborhood soiree this
There was
month.
supposed to be one this month,
Yep.
and I didn't see anything else about it, so I don't know if
Okay.
it's just gotten moved around. Because, these
Okay.
people travel all the
Yes,
time.
They're
and then
probably
They're
all in the
they're
Hamptons
yeah,
getting freaky.
or in Europe.
back to school for those of,
Oh,
that
yeah,
are not
school starts
homeschooling,
Monday,
Yeah, it
And
starts really soon.
Do
I
you
was
think
shocked.
they travel in packs? Like the
We do.
Gulfstream school
Yes,
parents,
they do,
like,
because a lot-
they would
yes.
always go skiing to the same
Yes,
place.
a lot
like,
of them go to Gulfstream. So yes, there's a lot of group travel that
yeah,
goes on all
yes,
the time for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we
Life
do that
is one
from time
big
to time
once is
without
life
the
is-
freakiness.
Yes,
Yeah.
life is like one big social calendar.
It really is. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They just fill it out based off of who's doing
and
what.
literally,
just
Right.
Gulfstream
hop on.
School's calendar is based around the ski schedule.
The ski schedule. Yes, it is.
That
That is
actually
very
does not
true.
surprise. Is that why school starts so early here? So they have a break over.
Yes, honey.
A good
they-
enough,
they-
a long enough break. so they
Okay,
can
you
get-
gotta
Yeah.
go to Aspen,
That's right.
Tenerife, whatever, Zermatt, wherever you're going.
Okay.
Yeah. Life in the fast lane.
Right.
Parent or the freaky lane.
Oh, God. In the awesome lane.
Actually, that's the party I wanted. I want to know what's happening on the trip.
Oh,
Me too. Probably the same thing that
Oh,
happens.
I heard
at
freaky
home.
deaky things happen on trips.
'Cause
Tell
there's-
what you know.
I know that they're swapping. I
We
know
took-
they're
we
swapping.
did.
I know,
You
but
remember we
did
got
you
in trouble
tell-
from that PTA mom trip? Which episode was
Whatever.
that?
PTA Freak-a-Leaks was the name.
PTA Freak-a-Leaks. You
Look,
got to check that
I
episode
remember when I
out.
was a PTA mom, and I'm telling you, there was some questionable things going on back in the day. And I'm like, what's
is.
happening here?
And it's every school. It's all of these private schools. I don't know what's happening in the public schools, but for sure it's on and popping in the private schools.
I'm
Yes.
sure. It,
Don't let the Lily Pulitzer and the golf carts fool you,
100%.
baby.
oh, that's a disguise.
Oh,
It's just not-
And don't come for me, Cruz. Y'all know it's true. If you know,
If it's facts
The
on-
truth hurts, y'all.
If it's facts on paper.
I think you just
PTA freakily.
you hit a button, 'cause
and it was
it's
pure
true.
facts. boo.
Correct.
Pure facts.
That's right. It
and
was.
we got Maria to back it up too.
And we had intel on the PTA Freak League show too.
Oh,
Yeah, we
there you go.
did.
See?
Yes, we did.
We didn't
We
have
had
a guest, but we had an informer.
We had an informant.
Informant.
Yes, we did.
We did. So it was nothing but facts.
Yes.
Sorry if your feelings got hurt, child.
Their business is on blast.
Okay. And we're not judging. We're here for it with the popcorn.
And at the buffet table.
Please. We love people's, live.
I love what goes on behind the gates of a bougie neighborhood.
Yes.
I really do.
It's very intriguing. I think
Yeah.
it really does give you a lot of insight into other people's lives and how quick we are to look at an external situation and think one
Yes.
thing, and then you find out and you're like, like who would have thought the handicapped guy in the wheelchair, the old guy, was getting,
Exactly.
I'm like, he was getting so much play at the party. I was just like, it gave me hope that God forbid something bad happened to me,
honestly,
and I'm wheelchair bound. I can
yes,
still get in the
girl,
game.
Yes. Well, look, he needs to have some joy, right?
And and I'm sure his personality is on fleek. I'm sure
100%.
he's
Or
got
he's really rich.
Oh, really rich.
Or both.
Everything's working, and he probably is not looking at his handicap as like some woe is me thing.
Right.
He's probably giving off big energy.
And so while
BDE.
I could have been in there totally being judgmental, it totally gave me a whole
I love
different
it.
insight to
I
saying,
love
wow,
that.
you know what? These women were very accepting of their bodies, like 100%.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
There was
Yeah, it's
just
hard.
no. And I was like, wow, the freedom in that. So much work goes into my body, and I'm thinking,
Yes, like you would never, right?
and I'm like, wow, that I wish I could have maybe an ounce of that freedom.
I think women.
yeah.
I think most women are just too hard on themselves with
I
their
think
bodies.
so too, 100. And these women were completely free, and it was just amazing to watch.
Like when
Oh,
you
I
say that,
love
were they
that.
like just hanging around naked?
yeah, they were
Wow.
hanging. I mean, some had on the ropes, but the ropes weren't tied in any
Right.
way.
Wow.
And I mean, these physiques were not,
And they have all the money in the
Were
world if they
they-
wanted to get enhanced.
100%.
True.
And that was the next thing that I noticed. All of the money that they have is not being spent. I mean, a couple of the women had fake boobs, but even those
that's
were
normal,
you can
like-
tell that those fake boobs have been done at least a decade ago.
Right.
Like they were
Okay.
on the downside.
They needed to tune up.
They needed a little bit of a
Yes.
But still they were so free, and I just sat there like, wow, like I'm hypercritical sometimes of myself, but to watch these women just sit and be comfortable and
Yeah.
it was a
And
little
we're,
bit
and,
admirable.
we're, and we're in the era of build-a-bodies.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Of where everything is pumped,
That's
tucked,
right, tight.
pull the fat from here, put it
Yes.
here. BBL era, I heard, is like
It's
going
going away,
Oh
thank
my
God.
Indeed, I
you
agree.
know. So thank you to the Kardashians for going on Ozempic and changing that trend. Okay,
Yes.
Finally,
because
yes.
everybody was just botching their bodies.
It's dangerous.
And thank you to Black China. She's an
Oh,
artist
yes.
for taking
Rob
all of
Kardashian's
it.
baby mama.
She took it all out.
She
from her
looks
face.
so
She
much
looks
better.
Amazing.
She's gorgeous.
And it gave women, I think, the opportunity to go back to saying, I respect the natural look of things.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So so you put a lot of time into your body. How much time and what do you do?
So I put, excuse me, almost a full-time job a week into. I
Wow.
train between 30 and 42 hours a week. Yeah, looking at my.
It shows.
Yeah.
Thank you. Looking
And
at
I
my
Googled you.
Strava.
Oh my God, can we pull up some of her competition
God,
photos?
there's
Would
a
you mind? Girl,
are these the
your
new ones or-
I
are
don't
these the
know.
new
Tell
ones
her
or the
where to
old
go.
ones?
But
Yeah,
your
where should I go?
Your
to-
competition body and photos.
You know, I've never Googled myself.
Oh,
so I
wow.
don't know.
Oh, wow.
I Googled you and your body. Okay, I want to know who we were talking to. Okay, it's our research, right? We got to know who we're talking to.
I've never Googled myself.
Beautiful.
So I don't know what pictures would come up, but probably some older ones.
Girl, you
or
were so
I don't
toasty
know.
tan. Did you like put on tanning lotion too?
You put on tanner.
I know, like, everybody puts on tanner, even black
it's an
people.
opportunity for you to
Yeah.
be black if you ever want to go.
I
do love a good spray tan. I really do.
I mean, people are like,
we can get you close.
I just wish I could. It would stay on in a
know.
pool. You know, as soon as you go
Oh
to
my
a pool, it's over.
Well, that competition tan
Well,
will
yeah,
stay on
that's
with you
pretty
for a
dark,
few
yeah.
days.
but do you go? How do you get that competition tan? By
They
the way,
spray it on. It's a spray, but it's
Oh,
just
but it
specifically,
glistens.
yeah, specifically
Everybody's
for
just so
bodybuilding, and then
looking
we've
like
got
vacation.
then we've got Pam cooking spray sprayed on you and rubbed on for the glisten.
Oh, Oh my
Yes.
God.
I
You
got
got a
some.
photo?
I got a
All right.
couple.
Do you?
Let's,
Oh my
wow.
God.
So these are super duper old. These are great.
Holy shiza
So,
balls.
Oh my gosh.
That green suit
I
that we're
love
looking
that.
at, the big one. Oh my God, this is back in 2009. That was from my
Bougie Crew, go on our YouTube
from
channel.
my first show when I lost 146 pounds.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We have to get in after
Yeah.
this into how you go from from being
Exactly.
140 pounds overweight to
looking
this.
so
Look at
snatched.
that. Oh
This
my
is-
God.
So let's go back to that one.
OMG.
This is actually the fitness competition. So let's go back to the go down one more.
Your body is banging.
One more.
That's such a cute
and
picture.
one more. So
Oh no, I gotta log in. Hold on.
or maybe go back to Google. Maybe it'll come up.
Yeah.
Let me go
But
back.
you guys, the
So-
body is bananas.
and that's like back in 2009, 2010. My
for
body's changed a
you.
ton since then. So what do? I started off, I was playing women's professional football from 2005 to 2008.
Is there money in that or sponsorship?
Yes, there's a lot of money in it. It's grown since then. I mean, back then we were getting paid, I think, $12,000 for a season.
Okay.
It's full contact, not the lingerie.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
like what you see the guys do is what we were doing.
Wow.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
What was your team? What was the name of your team?
I played for the Carolina Queens.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, so I played for 3 seasons as a tight end. So that's someone who
wow.
catches and tackles. We do both.
I never knew what that meant before.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. I know there's a lot of people who don't. They're like, what position is that? But at my retirement party, 2008, my mom got sick with Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so I needed to really, I was going back and forth, coming from Charlotte at that time down to Florida to take care of her for quite some time. And I said, I've got to retire. It just was, too tenuous to keep up.
Yep.
Plus the kids. Anyway, at my retirement party in 2008, I was eating a blue cupcake, and my third oldest was standing next to me while I was eating it. He looked at me and asked me if I was going to be fat forever.
Oh,
Talk
ouch.
about that tea.
Oh my
Ouch.
god.
Oh my God.
This started the trajectory of a whole entire life change.
Wow.
So
At that moment.
I'm very honest with myself about things, and I'm thankful that I'm that way because I think that that's what keeps people pigeonholed. They're not honest and open with themselves. And though I was an athlete, yes, I can run fast, I can move, and I was always playing sports my whole entire life. My goal and my whole response to my son's criticism was, as their mother, am I teaching them how to take care of their temple appropriately?
Oh,
Right.
wow.
I buy their food, so they're under my control.
Yeah.
Am I setting them up for failure
Oh, wow.
in their adult years to be struggling with whatever? They might not be athletic like me.
Right.
They might really be.
Are they?
No, honest, they're not, but they're very healthy eaters. So this was an amazing, it changed the trajectory of my entire family line,
Wow.
even to my grandkids.
Oh.
That's beautiful.
So I took a whole entire year. I didn't know where I was going to end up in the year. And I said, I need a year to really show my children how to raise the bar on their personal vessel
Good for
by showing
you.
it by example.
Yep.
I got a trainer.
Wow.
I picked a gym an hour away because I don't do well with convenience. Again, being honest with yourself. If it's right there for me, I know most people are like, what?
Yes, the closer the better for me.
See, for me, the further the better. Because if it's close by, I start making excuses. I'll do it in 5 minutes. I'll do it in 10 minutes. I'll do it.
And then you don't
And
do
then
it.
I don't
All
do
right.
it. So
Well, that
I-
self-awareness is a very good thing to have.
Right,
Yeah.
self-awareness. So I knew if I had a trainer, an hour away that I've paid for,
Right.
and I paid for a 2-hour session, so I was paying some buku money for
bet.
training.
Wow.
So I started on that journey, and then I went back to school to get my dietetic degree.
Good for you.
Already have a nursing degree, so I really do understand the body
great layer.
extremely well. Yeah, perfect layer. But it was never for anyone else. This was just a solo journey. And a year later, I was stepping on stage doing my first competition in South Carolina.
It's amazing.
Won my first show
Wow.
and then got bit by the competition bug.
Yep.
And it wasn't about the win. What I learned along the way of the whole prep process was I am in love with the journey, the process of it all.
You have to be, because it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and a bodybuilding prep, any type of transformation, doesn't have to be bodybuilding, right? But any type of transformation of you, when it's physical, it peels back these amazing layers of who you are mentally. I mean, like it peels the layers back. You will find out if you're lazy, how committed you are,
Yeah.
how weak, how strong you are. You find out a lot of things. And so I fell in love with that process because each and every time, every prep, I was learning more about myself that I could translate into my everyday life, which was just phenomenal. So that's kind of how it started. And it's evolved, of course, over the years into now I'm a triathlete as well.
Wow.
So I've done some Ironmans.
And you're a strong swimmer?
That's the thing. So in high school, I swam. Fun fact, I'm afraid of water.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Deathly.
A lot of people are.
Still to
Yeah,
this
but they're
day.
not doing swimming,
I
as part of
right.
the triathlon.
And that is
Yes.
kind of why my podcast is Do It Anyway, because it's the whole
Okay.
thing about facing fears and overcoming it.
Uh-huh.
I'm always afraid I'm going to drown. Even when I was in high school, I
wow.
played water polo. I was on the dive team.
But you were a diver and you were
Oh
my
as a big girl,
gosh.
that's right. And everyone would
But
giggle,
to be
but
afraid of water and
I
dive.
didn't. I was too embarrassed to admit that I was afraid.
Oh.
How about that?
And you
So-
did it
I would
anyway.
do it
Did
anyway.
anyway.
But I would
Wow.
be crying during practice in the locker room. People were like, "Are you okay?" And I just like, I'm all right. But I would never tell them why I was so nervous.
Wow.
Oh, Maria.
And by the time I'd have to get up there to dive off the 10-meter board, I was just like, "It's too late now. You're
Shaking.
up here.
Oh my
Gotta
God.
do
You
it. When
gotta
you
gotta
did
do
it.
it anyway.
I was really good. I was really. I
Wow.
wish. Back then, everybody was so politically correct, right? And I really wish a coach had pulled me aside and say, "Hey, we should lose some weight. You'd probably
Oh.
be phenomenal."
Oh, wow.
So, but it's
It
okay.
wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't right, but it's come full circle for me. So you were asking me about the swim. Am I a strong swimmer? I have gotten better now because I've made myself become a better swimmer. I am heavy in the water. When I was fat, you float. You're more buoyant.
And, yeah, the muscles
Yeah, so
heavier.
it's so
yeah.
I'm very heavy in the water. And swimming in an ocean is definitely not
that's
like the
so
pool because there are animals.
And currents
Yes.
and all sorts of things.
Like,
I'm not even worried about the currents.
Like people are like, why are like I remember watching on social media with like some kite surfers, the minute they went up, a whale came and like bumped them, and people are like, why do people want to play in monster soup?
I don't
Like,
get that either.
You know what I mean? And
boo-boo.
we have friends who are avid kite surfers. My
Yes.
son is on the surf team of his university. You
I
know what I
also
mean? Like
surf,
people love the ocean, but child, there are a lot of creatures.
There's a lot of
Nemo
creatures
got
in
lost,
there.
y'all.
I
You
know.
gonna risk it?
Jonah got
Don't
swallowed by
get
a whale.
eaten That's right.
I'm telling you, it is serious. But that has been, the best decision switching to triathlon because I'm looking for something after this pro season of my bodybuilding comes to a close, the stage portion of it anyway.
Do you have a timeline?
I don't. I feel like my body will dictate it.
Okay.
I feel like once I stop producing high level results at shows, then that'll be my calling card to kind of pivot. But I don't want to wait until then to have something else to pivot to.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
And I wanted something that was equally as challenging mentally. Because for
Right.
me, I realized I'm completely a mental person. I've already come to the rationalization that your body can literally do whatever you will it to.
Yeah.
So it's all in the mindset.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm big on anything that's going to get me into that mindset of having to push. And let me tell you something, nothing like a 2.4-mile swim in the ocean with animals that you're afraid of.
Oh my goodness.
And then get on a bike and
Sounds
ride it for
awful.
112 miles.
Jesus, and those little painful bikes up your butt, like they look
you
so
get,
painful.
You get used to that. But then you got to do a full marathon on the very tail end of all of it.
Do you what do you eat after one of those, like a triathlon?
Whatever you want.
I know.
After my first Ironman, I was expecting to be very ravenous, but I think because you rev your body so high, you're not hungry. So that after the race, I didn't want anything to eat. Actually, I had eaten so many of those, gel goos. Oh,
Okay.
my stomach was just over everything. It was just
Okay.
like, don't put anything in here, please.
Do you just sleep for days?
That was the funny thing. I thought I was going to. I got back to my hotel room at a little bit like closer to midnight because I wanted to wait for everyone, on our team to come in. Midnight's the cutoff for it. So everyone passed in the allotted time. So I walked over to my hotel and I showered. Now that was the hard part. Getting everything off to shower because you realize you're chafed in areas you didn't even know
Ooh.
existed.
Like
and
raw? Is it
raw.
rubbed
It's raw.
My God.
It's raw. So the shower was very painful.
Oof.
And I said, well, I'm going to, finally lay down and go to sleep. It was about 1:45. I lay down to sleep, and my eyeballs opened at 6 o'clock like they always
Oh,
do.
shoot.
What?
And I felt great.
Oh, wow.
That's
So I went and did a
amazing.
5-mile shakeout run.
What?
Holy shit.
And
To
so
put your body through that?
surprisingly, there were other people who were doing it too, but I recover.
Were you
really
on the
well.
high, like a runner's high
No,
or a
I just,
high from
I
it?
recover really well. I think for me, my training, because my volume's always pretty high, I don't ever stop lifting weights. Most people who do triathlon, and they think this is what makes me different, they don't lift very much
Oh.
weights. They're very, and I hate to say this because it sounds, but they're weak in comparison, right?
Yeah.
So they're very frail. So a race like that,
They look
seems-
frail.
Yeah, it seems to tear them apart. Like they
Yeah.
are broken for weeks.
Wow.
I was back on that run the very next day, and as soon as I drove back down here to get home from Panama City, I rode my bike. I went back to the gym. Like my whole life resumed as if
Wow.
nothing
Wow.
had ever happened. Like it didn't skip a beat. But I really think that because one, I train, and my nutrition, I'm very nutritionally sound.
What do you eat?
Everything, first and
Uh-huh.
foremost. I know people think, oh, she probably is like only eating chicken and broccoli. That's for the birds. I am not doing that. That's
Okay.
crazy land. But I do eat very high amounts of protein, high amounts of fat, and high amounts of carbs.
Really?
okay.
I
Do you
do.
cycle? Like, what happens like when you cut?
So if I'm going to do a bodybuilding show, it gets a little tricky there because I typically always plan to do a bodybuilding show before a race because my body's in really tip-top shape,
That's smart.
right?
That is smart.
So,
yeah.
but I still have to make sure that I have enough carbohydrates in there to fuel the ride and the run.
Mm-hmm.
So I do cut a little bit, but it's not very drastic. And I also have worked over, it's taken me years to do this, but my caloric intake is above 5,000 calories a day.
Well, I mean, if you're
Every
working
day?
out, like, but if
Every
she works
day.
out, like, it's a full-time job.
True.
Yeah, every day. So
Do you get
I'm-
tired of eating?
I do. I
Oh.
do. There's some days where I'm just like, okay, I've had
Yeah.
enough.
Like, take us through a typical day
A
of eating.
typical day. So on my triathlon team, my nickname is Huevos.
Okay. Do you like the rancheros?
Because I
Oh, I
eat-
love a ranchy egg.
I eat about a dozen eggs in the morning to start. Sometimes it's between 8 to 12. So I
Whoa.
start with a mountain of eggs. And I no longer like scramble them all in a pan. So I try to trick my brain, and like I'll have 4 that are like over medium.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, and I'll have 2 slices of toast with it. And,
Yeah.
and then some avocados smashed on top
Yum.
of it.
Oh, wow.
And then I'll do some that are scrambled, and then I'll do some that's made into an omelet, and that I'll put,
Okay.
the veggies, my peppers,
So
onions,
eggs
and
5
mushrooms.
ways.
Yeah, and then I put that all on 3 different plates.
Okay,
And
portion
then
it
I
out.
I portion it out, and then I sit there and I eat it.
Like over the course of an hour?
About 30 minutes. Yeah,
Wow.
about 30. I'm trying not to linger
Wow.
because the longer it takes me to eat, the longer to digest, and then I'm running into the next.
Oh, right. The next meal is coming up.
Yeah, because I eat about every hour and 45 to 2 hours. So the longest I go
Your
without
grocery bills must
Yeah.
be insane.
it is.
So
yeah.
you take food
and
to
I'm
the
alone.
gym and eat.
I do.
while
I
you're-
typically have food in my car. The longest time that I don't eat, ironically, is when I'm here. with
Wow.
Ben, you savage.
I know.
Bring the
I-
woman a snack.
Starving
I always,
this
I always-
champion.
At that point, I'm
We're
like
gonna
on a
need some eggs
fast.
Benedict.
That's when I do my intermittent fasting when I come see Ben.
Oh
That's why she can only see me once a week because she's like, man.
She must be starving after this.
But do you must meal prep or what?
So I personally like fresh food, and thankfully because I work for myself, I'm home, I have the opportunity to do it. But back in the day, I used to, meal prep, but I don't like old food. Like it drives
Yeah,
me
that's
nuts.
So you don't
gross.
like
Yeah.
the next day?
I don't like the next day.
Leftovers.
So
No,
what's meal
no.
2 then?
So meal 2 is typically like some type of a protein pudding with some type of carbohydrate in it. I don't like to drink a shake. My body does not register that as a meal
Oh,
at
wow.
all. It will say, "Oh, good sister, I'm glad you
Okay.
drank something now. What are we
Where-
eating?"
okay.
Where's the grub?
So, man, where's the food? Because that was drink. I don't know what's going on. So I make it into a pudding, and I'm always putting something like almonds or macadamia nuts in it, so I can get something to
Yes,
actually
chew.
chew.
Uh-huh.
I'll put either some muesli, which is like the European version.
Oh, my
of
husband
oatmeal.
eats
Just
that every morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
muesli. So or
It's yummy.
or I love it, right? Or just oats. I'll put in there. That's typically my second. Oh, and always some type of a berry,
Mm-hmm.
a blueberry, blackberry, strawberry, and I mean, about a cup of it goes in there.
Yep.
About a full cup. So this is it's a big bowl. It's
oh my
because I
God.
do 2.5 scoops of protein. So we're talking about almost 60 grams of protein for that.
Wow.
For that particular
With like
meal.
yogurt or what?
No yogurt. Now I just started putting dairy back into my nutritional protocol. I'm not huge on having dairy with women that are, in going through menopause or perimenopause and have weight to lose, or if they're suffering with cellulite. But I don't have that, and so I stayed away from it from a long time. Also, I'm slightly lactose intolerant, but I've been taking some really good lactose pills lately. And so that'll be my nighttime because I make it like a sorbet ice cream kind of thing. I get it nice and cold. I put my berries in there. And I also use like either a Mio or a Crystal Light, or there's a natural flavoring called Stir. Sometimes I put that, whatever I've got available.
Yep.
And I make a little of that, and that's my nighttime. And I eat half of a 48-ounce container of that, so that's about another 40, 50 grams of protein there.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So wait, how many? We have 3 more meals to talk about, right?
Yeah,
3 more?
Well, wait, so
What? Was that just a snack?
that's a late night. That's a night.
Oh,
so you got your breakfast of the eggs, then you got your bowl.
Or
My bowl.
mid-morning
An
snack.
hour and a half later, you got your
hour-
bowl.
my
So
bowl.
so
Oh
roughly,
my
what
gosh.
time is it right now?
So right now at that point, let's see. If it depends on my activity. So in that morning, it starts at like 5:30. I start this process of putting the food in.
I'm like REM.
Right.
Me
so
too,
that
child. Toodaloo.
then I'm on let's say I'm on a run typically, and then I'm back at about 7:45, and so that's when that meal will typically go in. If there's no run, then I just eat the hour and 45 whenever that comes up. So I have that second meal. Then I'm typically going into an activity for sure at that point. So it's going to be cycling or swimming more than likely. I try to do the cycling and the swimming. I prefer to do swimming early, super early typically, but sometimes the pool's not open that early. So it varies by day. But because you swim first in a race, right? I almost like to train in the order that the race is going to happen.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want my body to get acclimated to that food that I'm putting in. I want it to feel comfortable with that. But if it's an off day, I'll either bike or swim. And then I'm on to meal 3, which is typically 8 ounces of ground beef or top sirloin steak. And then I'll have about a cup and a half of some type of, vegetable. Doesn't have to be green. I sometimes it is, but it's whatever vegetable. I really run the gamut of the colors. I think that you should. There's different nutrients you need. And then I will either have avocado as, another, I know that's like double fat, but
Yum.
that's my my fatty meal.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm
okay.
doing there for 3. Then I'm off to the gym, typically for a first session of the day. By this point, it's like 1:30 afternoon.
Are you still with a trainer?
No, I train
Okay.
myself now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my whole business is training. And that's a very good question because that session is really not my training session. That session is a session that I do for my clients. So when I am writing workouts for my clients,
okay.
I test them. I'm probably one of the very few
That's
coaches that do
amazing.
that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I run each, whatever training program, whoever, I, pick a couple per week and I run them 2 times through because if I'm running into sticking points on the training plan,
Yeah.
I can't very well just say, oh, here you go. Let me send
Right.
it to my client. They're going to have problems. with it.
Yes.
Do most of your clients have aspirations to be bodybuilders, or is it just weight loss?
Usually they start as weight loss.
Oh,
And I have transformed so many women that have come from the couch to the stage and won their pro cards. And that is what I
That's
find
amazing.
the most
We should
Rewarding.
sign up.
just lovely. It's
never too late.
It's
Never
not.
too late.
I've turned women pro in their late 50s. It's like
Okay, I'm
my
younger than that.
it's one of my
Oh my
my
gosh.
claim to fames of
Amazing.
things, and it fills my cup. It does, because here it is. We started with just a goal to, I always start my clients small. Let's lose 10 pounds. I think people who want to come and say, let me lose 50 pounds, that's a really lofty goal.
Yeah, it is.
And it can take some time.
Right.
Or just even to
know?
get your butt up and go to the gym.
Right.
You know?
Just to get
I have
the-
a million and one
right.
excuses
Just
every
the
day.
habits,
too, and
just to
they
go.
work.
They do. They're very effective. The excuses are extremely effective.
Yeah, they
you
are.
know? So I always start small, but I've taken people off the couch and taken them to the stage,
Wow.
off the couch and turned them into runners.
And virtually.
Yeah, virtually. Those who said I will
Dang,
never
you're good.
ever run, and they're doing marathons now. So I've got a couple people who want to do some ultras, and so now I've got to get my mileage back up because that's a rule for anyone that's doing any type of sport. If they want to train for it, well, for the most part, normal sports. Don't get crazy,
Don't get
guys.
carried away, child. The Lulus.
I feel like I should be able to at least try it. So
Yep.
if there's a day that I'm giving one of my new clients an opportunity to run their first half marathon, we run the full race before the race.
What?
There is no showing up saying, "Oh,
Damn.
let's." Most people only train half
Wing and
marathon and
prayer it.
marathon, right? They train up to like on a half marathon. A coach will only train you to like mile 10, and say you'll be fine the rest of the 3. I don't believe in that. I don't subscribe to that, right? I subscribe to let's let you feel how all 13.1 are going to feel.
Yeah.
So you understand.
Mm-hmm.
100%. There's no doubt in your mind. Same thing with the marathon. They train you till mile 19. And I remember doing that training back in the day and getting to mile marker 19. And my brain was just like, oh my God, there's more? Wait, we've only gone this far. And thankfully I'm strong-minded, so I was able to will myself. But there's a brick wall you hit in a marathon at mile 19 regardless.
Oh, wow.
Imagine. I see
So-
people collapse after
Yes.
these marathons.
So-
Like, some people
watching them.
poop
Right.
themselves,
Yeah, oh
vomiting.
yeah, 100%.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I train my clients all the way through, but on the day of the test, I call it our test trial, I
Yeah.
do it too.
That's amazing.
So they're not running alone.
You should see me
Yeah.
on my hot sauna suit walk.
I
girl.
have
I'm
seen
on
you.
the floor.
I beeped at your ass.
Miss Sheila's like, are you okay? I lay on the floor. I'm like, can you please get me a cold towel? I need a drink and a pinch of salt. Help. So she's like, this is unhealthy, me.
Why are you hot sauna suit walking?
I don't know.
Let's
'cause
take a quick commercial break
Yes.
and we'll find out the answer to
I
that
need to know.
after we pay some bills. Welcome back to Crazy Rich Neighbors. Okay, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because, okay, first of all, right? So I have on like leggings, and then I have on like a UV long
Yes.
sleeve, and then I have on a waist trainer, and then I have on these sauna suits that I got off of
And a
Amazon.
hat and sunglasses.
And a hat and sunglasses, looking like a real hobo.
Our neighbor
And
says she looks homeless.
yes.
You know what? No, you look exactly like a crazy rich neighbor.
Yes, I am. Hello. And without shame.
If the sauna suit fits, Maria.
Hey. Oh, and I have on ball bangles.
Okay.
Like 2 pounds on each wrist, and then 2 pounds
do you-
on the ankles.
What do you say?
And
What's
so okay, and so why?
reactions?
So let me. Am I doing more harm than good? I just love it that I'm so sweat through, and so I do my little
So
on the way.
now that is effective. All of the what you're doing with the movements, bicep curls, shoulder press, you can do some high knees. But the extra sweating,
Yes,
so for those of you who don't know,
school me.
your sweat is not burning any fat.
But is it getting rid of water weight? I'll take anything I can get.
It does, but as soon as you drink water, it's right back.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's really your sweat is your cooling system. It's your body's.
That's it.
That's it.
What
It's-
about a detox? I mean, because there are some health benefits to being in the sauna, right? So it's like an hour-long sauna sesh.
Well, not.
No?
Go ahead, Maria.
Trust the expert.
What
Follow the
happened
science.
Go ahead.
What
Let her
happened
cook. Let her cook.
What had really happened was.
While you're doing all that sweating inside your suit,
Uh-huh.
your skin is also constantly
reabsorbing it.
reabsorbing.
Oh.
So it's not like it's coming off of your skin. So like when I'm running, right, my skin is exposed. Any sweat, anything that's coming out of the pores is wicking away for the most part. And you can tell, you'll see some people that looks white. It's the salt coming out of your skin.
Yes.
But with you having the suit on, you're actually creating
trapped.
you're creating a circular system of just reabsorption.
And you think it's unhealthy?
I wouldn't. Well, you know what? Absolutely. From
I mean,
this,
you have to shower right
from,
away.
From,
Yeah.
from this standpoint, not from a toxin standpoint. I wouldn't get too freaked out about that.
Okay.
From the standpoint of dehydration, which is why you feel like you're about to die.
Oh, yeah. I saw stars. And on an empty stomach, by the way.
Okay.
Mia.
Oh.
We're gonna
I
need-
lied.
We're
This
gonna need a
week,
couple
I
more
had 5
sessions.
cherries. And I ate them along the way as I started to feel like I was about to pass out on the side of the road.
What is your goal?
Always to lose 10 pounds.
Okay, 10 pounds of fat or 10 pounds of muscle? Because
10
you're doing
10
great
pounds of
losing
fat.
10 pounds of muscle right now.
Don't tell Eli.
Oh my God, Eli's like, gotta get me back in the gym. It's crazy.
Yes.
Like,
So definitely you want to be not doing that fasted. That's not going to help you lose any
That's
fat
just
any
dumb,
faster.
right?
It's not a smart move, right? But it's what's become popular on social media.
yes.
But you have to remember, people who start these trends of things typically have a lot of weight to lose, right? And they'll say, "Oh my God, I started doing this fasting and walking, and I've down 20
Or
pounds."
eating disorders.
Right, that too will start 100%. And they're down 20 pounds, but 20 pounds of what?
What? Yeah. What
Right?
did you
Because I
really-
can make the scale go down. You want to lose 10 pounds, I can get you down 10 pounds in a week. You're not going to like that you lost a lot of your muscle mass.
Yeah,
though.
I don't want that and be
And-
like skinny fat.
Right. And what's going to happen is, as we age as women, we need all of the muscle plus some
Yes.
to keep us strong as we age, to keep our bones strong as well, right? And it's also been a direct correlation between having a lot of lean muscle mass and your lack of deterioration of your brain. So there's a lot going on when we keep like eating like birds.
Yes.
You know, now there's the flip side to what I do. Yes, I'm super active, but there actually is a point of nothing to gain, right? So I do eat roughly 300 grams of protein a day. That's a lot. That has some very serious systemic issues for my liver and kidneys. You know, my kidneys are taking a constant blow.
How do you
with
protect them?
I take a lot of supplements to help with the liver and kidneys.
Like what?
There's something called Live 52. You can order off of Amazon. Really great product. And then I buy a kidney cleanse from Vitamin Shop just to make sure that my kidneys are able to flush, because I'm taking in a lot of food.
Do you take dandelion tea?
I don't. I used to take dandelion tea back in the day when I was doing a lot of my, bodybuilding to, release water. But I take a lot of B6. If I'm getting ready for a show, I'll do like a natural diuretic, like an Expel that you can buy. But I don't use any of that stuff.
I never thought that protein would like strain the kidneys. I
Oh,
always thought
yeah.
of it like alcohol and
No,
too
it
much
can-
salt.
That can strain your liver, but definitely it can strain the kidneys. It's too much of it. You could have too much of a good thing. That does really exist. So finding that happy median. But for what you're doing, definitely you probably will lose the 10 pounds if you eat some food.
And then lift the weights. Focus on the lifting of the
Lifting
weights.
of the weights. You can still do your walk if you want to, but you don't need to put on a whole sauna suit. Just go for a regular walk. But yeah, get back into lifting the weights and eating whole foods, and definitely upping the protein, having at least your body weight in protein. You'll probably just lose the weight that way.
Body weight in grams.
Yeah.
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 That's easy enough to calculate.
She's like in grams.
In pounds.
Yeah.
Well, for our bougie crew who may not know what unit we're talking about,
This is true.
yes,
Yeah,
We're
in grams.
global.
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
Benji?
You're right. You're right.
Durr.
So, like, what can women do, like heading in perimenopause, heading into
Yes.
menopause? It's often the period where women gain, 10, 15, 20 pounds, and
Yes.
they can't get it off. It happened to my mom.
Yes. This
And
is very
she
factual.
couldn't, and she was always in the gym, always under, 128 pounds.
Right.
And she just couldn't get it off no matter what she did.
And she was getting that weird looking in the belly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So how do you? What's some
So,
advice you have for
For
women of this
that,
age?
I think that's the space that I'm really trying to segue into lately, because I realize that there's not enough. First of all, the education and literature on perimenopause and menopause is not a lot when it comes to reversing and getting
Even
that weight
Oprah
off.
said she was misdiagnosed. And she
100%.
has an army of doctors.
Because there really has not been any science until the last 3 years, literally.
What?
Yes. And that science, still there's not a ton of study done on really, okay, they're trying to look at it medically, but it is, your hormones are going through, fluctuations, but they're also not looking at it nutritionally at all, which I think is the biggest mistake. It is going to be very true. There'll be things that you could eat in your 20s and 30s that you cannot metabolize the same way.
Absolutely.
That is 100% factual. We all know it. And that even translates to when you clean it up, so to speak, right? There'll still be certain things that you can't eat. I cannot eat sweet potatoes. I get inflamed. After day 3 of eating sweet
wow.
potatoes consistently, I don't look very good. I get very water retained systemically.
no.
My joints will start to hurt. So my advice is starting first with whole foods, right? Pick your protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Pick your caloric range. Stick with it for a few weeks. Start to take pictures, track your weight, and see what's happening to the body. Now, if you have that, that belly, that belly look, it gives you like that
You
weird.
lose your waist, basically.
Yeah, it's just one unit,
Right.
some kind of weird. I've
Yeah,
been there. It's okay.
yeah.
I've been there. So what I say do is take away something from the fats first.
Interesting.
Don't eliminate them all, but maybe either reduce it or take something away and see what's happening there. Typically,
Not carbs?
not carbs.
That's like what everybody
I know
says to
everyone
cut.
is so well. You should not be afraid of any of the 3 macronutrients. Our body needs all 3. And coming from someone who ketogenic diet in the beginning, I know that I was like super afraid of carbohydrates. Even
Did you
though
lose on keto?
I did, and I do processed fats better than carbohydrates. But I don't know if it's because I took my body in that stream for so long, and I've got good adaptation in that plane. But I do think that our bodies are designed to assimilate all 3 macronutrients. Now, the ratios are what makes the difference, right? Some can take on more carbohydrates than others. Like my Asian clients can legitimately eat 500 to 600 grams of carbohydrates.
I always wonder
a
how they
day
eat so much rice and stay
because
so slim.
it's cultural,
Yeah.
right? So like, and even with my African American clients, if I give them grits, which is something that they were just eating for
Yes.
decades and decades and decades, they do extremely well with grits on a diet. Now, who would think to eat grits on a diet? But
Nobody,
if I give it to my white counterparts, not so much. Same thing
it
with oatmeal.
sticks to the bones.
Yes, same thing with oatmeal though. Blacks get water retained with oatmeal. Not saying it's not healthy, but their physiques, as you want to get leaner and leaner.
DNA and the biochemistry.
Yes, which that all plays a big role. So when I get women that come to me in that menopausal stage, I want to know culturally where you're from. Aside from the basics, what your activity level is. I want to know all that background. And then I start to lay out a plan. The first thing I do is make sure that I put as much nutrients into the body as best as possible, and things that are going to help balance out your hormones, your selenium, your folate, things of that nature that are probably missing from the diet because there's so many things that we don't think to eat that we need on a regular basis. Putting back your B vitamins, your B6s, your B12s, things like that.
I heard selenium is super important. Like most people who have cancer have like a deficiency
In selenium. Copper is also extremely important.
Do you take a copper supplement? I've never
I
taken.
don't. I typically in my I guess in my multivitamin, I wouldn't go and get like a just standalone, copper supplement. But I always start with blood work. That's going to be the key for women. If you want to figure out how to start to get a hold of it, you're going to need to work with a practitioner because you're probably not going to know how to read your blood work. But getting the blood work so you can see where the hormonal imbalances are first. Then you can start to implement nutritional strategies and saying things like this. So there's a misconception in weight loss that if you go to the gym and you go balls to the wall on your cardio, that should, burn more calories. You get at a deficit. Great. It's all about calories in, calories out, right? Not if you have hormonal issues. And actually the worst thing sometimes you can do, give a perimenopausal or premenopausal woman, is a bunch of high intensity cardio.
Cortisol, right?
The cortisol is going through the roof, and that
makes
is
you
belly fat storage.
Oh.
Yes, that's a big storage of fat. The body's under too much stress. This is where a walking protocol comes into play. Taking it seems counterproductive, right? But scaling it back. I'd rather a female that's in perimenopause, premenopausal, train harder and do less cardio. Because I know that I'm going to get the body to burn more calories just in really good sound quality contraction of the muscle, but also the more lean muscle tissue we put on, the more calories we will burn just at rest.
Right.
So I don't have to keep agitating the body and raising the cortisol. So there's different protocols that need to happen at every stage. And that's the thing. That's why I think we women struggle. Unfortunately, men, pretty straightforward. They don't really start showing any problems until their 60s, where their hormones really take a dive and you really have to kind of start messing with things. But give them a shot of testosterone, they're back, they're good as new. For us, our bodies have so many different phases.
Yeah.
Just our cycle, the 28-day cycle, right? That's full of different phases. Like, I see so many women who the week before their cycle, they're starving hungry.
Oh,
they want to
yeah.
eat everything.
Yeah.
And they will work with a practitioner who will not know better, or maybe it's a male coach, and make them stick to this low-calorie diet. And they can't sustain that. You need to feed them that
Right.
week. They need to eat that week. So even it comes down to, like, I have so many cycles I have to track.
Yes.
I can only
Yeah,
imagine.
I'm in everyone's period.
Yes.
When I don't want to be.
Hormone levels.
When I don't want to
God.
be, because I don't even. I haven't had that for I don't know how long.
It's liberating.
Yeah, I have no plumbing.
Oh
So
my
if I
God.
say I'm pregnant, Jesus is on his way.
Okay. Hello. Immaculate conception.
So, but I mean, there's so many different cycles that you need to pay attention to make the process happen. And I
Right.
think for women looking for, that's why the quick fixes never work. You might lose some and you gain back double. Fat cells, you don't get rid of them. They just shrink.
You little
You don't get
bastards.
rid of them?
No, the only way to get rid of fat cells is to literally have liposuction.
But what did they? Are they set at which age? Is it hereditary?
You're born with with just set amount of fat cells. Everyone is.
Everybody, but is
Everyone.
it different?
It's different amongst everyone. Yeah, and
unfair.
that's what makes them look in different areas. Some people have them more saturated in their butt and their hips.
It's true.
So they're in different areas, and when you lose weight, they just shrink. But when you go on these crazy yo-yo diets and you lose the weight really quickly, you don't let your body just kind of reset to the normal, the new weight, because you know what happens when you lose weight and you hit your goal, you're going to eat.
Yeah.
You gain the weight back. The fat cell will increase almost by 50% twice as fast.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
And then, well, here's the thing. So then it gets full and it splits
What's that?
into another fat cell.
Oh, Lord.
That is how
Can you repeat that?
Yes.
Oh, no. Once was enough.
No, I want to hear
Yes.
this. Like,
Oh.
So when your fat cells get full after
Uh-huh.
you've lost the weight and you kind of just didn't respect the new weight that you're at by keeping the calories where they should be, you kind
Right.
of go off on the deep end eating because you think you're good now.
Oh,
you're not
Lord.
good. The fat cell, the original fat cell, reinflates almost twice as fast,
oh no,
and then it splits, creating another fat cell.
Oh,
horrific.
And that's how people gain the weight back plus double.
Yes,
That's why
I
you
always hear about
That's
that.
why you keep bringing a new cousin every time you gain weight.
All right, we are
Wow.
unfortunately pretty much running out of time.
Maria,
What
we
is
need
what is
you.
one what it can if you could give us one tip in a short tip because we're almost
Yes.
out of time. What's the one most important thing we could do to make a change?
I'll give you two quick ones: sleep
Okay.
and hydration.
Okay.
That's easy enough.
Nothing happens without those two. Well, maybe not this hydration.
Maria.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, Maria, we need a part 3.
I
Okay,
know.
so we're gonna have part 3 to this
Indeed.
episode. Okay.
Following Halloween parties.
Hell yeah! But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you again for
Please-
having me.
We still have Bougie Bible, Maria.
Oh,
You're not going anywhere.
Jesus, yes, but still, thank you for joining
Yes,
us.
we love you.
appreciate it.
Yes. I
Thank
learned
you
so
all
much.
for having me. I'm happy
Yes.
to share.
But don't go, Bougie Crew. We got the Bougie Bible.
Yes.
Bougie Bible.
Yeah, baby.
Amen.
And you're up first,
Yes,
Maria.
our
All right.
guest.
So, yes, I get my lashes done.
They look amazing.
They do.
Thank you. And actually, I get them done every 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
And they last, and I do a lot of swimming. Of course, I have on
that's
goggles.
Oh, that's
right.
right. And
Yeah.
sweating from
Yeah,
training.
sweating from
That's
training.
awesome.
But my Bible, what
Bougie Bible.
Bougie Bible
Yeah.
is called the Matcus Lash Lengthener. This
Oh.
is serum. So it's kind of like the broke down version of Latisse, which I found out that the
Okay.
ingredients are all the same.
Oh.
Yes, you order it off of Amazon.
Oh, to keep your lashes healthy underneath.
Yes, and
Nice.
so when I go every 3 sessions, my lash tech, he takes my lashes off completely.
Right.
To,
Oh,
wow.
you know, just really wash down the lashes and the lids. And my lashes actually are almost as long as the
Wow.
I
Oh,
use
I
this
need that.
morning and night. Amazon. It's again, it's Matcus. I love this stuff.
Yeah, Latisse is
Yes.
so expensive.
It's so
Like I
expensive.
got it in the
expensive.
beginning, but you have
Oh,
to
it's a
use
peptide.
it, right?
It's
Yes.
a peptide.
Oh,
Yes.
so it's fine,
MATKAS.
healthy.
Yes, healthy. I love it.
I love peptides.
I love it. It's done wonders. Also for my eyebrows. So I used to have like a little weird
Yes, mine are falling out.
ditch, and I start putting that on there. And it
Okay,
looked great. So.
getting it.
Oh,
Yes.
that is
That's a good
awesome.
That's my Bougie Bible.
Nice.
Yes, we love it. Thank you. I'm getting that for sure. And my Bougie Bible pick, Marie is drinking it. It's Olipop, and it's a fizzy and flavorful soda alternative. It's gaining popularity for its health benefits and plant-based ingredients. And it's advertised as a new kind of soda. And drinkers are loving it because it's refreshing, bubbly. They have probiotics, plant fiber.
Yes.
And Maria said it tastes great.
This is Maria approved.
Oh,
Okay.
what? That's a big deal.
I like my
because,
drink.
because sometimes you want something
Right.
that is like a soda, but you don't want
All
the
the
indulgence
calories
and
Right.
the chemicals
Sugar.
and
Right.
whatnot, right? So they said that it's just a really good, healthy alternative to soda drinking, and they have really great delicious flavors like lemon, tangy ginger and lemon, nostalgic strawberry pop, classic flavors like root beer and cola, which I love the root beer.
Oh.
And it's also for us like alcohol drinkers a great mixer. It's low cal, only like what 40 some between like 30 and 45 calories.
40 calories and 5 carbohydrates.
Yeah, okay.
not bad.
That's not bad, and full flavor. They're
Yeah.
literally full
It's
flavor.
very full.
Yes.
Excellent. Now, Benjimon, if you can open the link to show our bougie crew watching on YouTube. My pick this week is a luggage brand from Paris called Le Pot. And it is fun luggage and a rainbow full of color options. It's mostly soft-sided, but they do spinner bags. These things weigh nothing, you guys. So if you want a great luggage for a short trip, a long trip, they
Love
have
the
all different
colors.
sizes. Literally, they weigh nothing.
Really?
Yes. They have backpacks, suitcases, all sorts of like carry-on bags.
Gorge.
Smaller bags for accessories, crossbodies, you name it. LIPAULT. Le Pot. Love it.
Beautiful. Love it. Maria, tell our bougie crew where they can find you to sign up.
Listen
You
to your
can find me on
podcast.
Instagram at Maria_C_Carson. Just DM me and I will get you set up.
Yes.
And your
don't
podcast?
Yes.
And my podcast, yes. How could I forget that?
Yes.
It's the Do It Anyway podcast with Maria Redman, and you can find me on YouTube, Spotify, and Applecast.
Awesome.
We cannot wait to do the party
That's right.
and then a session.
Oh, yes.
So that's all we got, guys. So share this ish with your favorite bad bitch.
Follow us on your favorite podcast platform to never miss an episode.
And follow us on IG and on Facebook at CRN Podcast.
And YouTube. You can always email us at info@crazyrichneighbors.com.
And remember, if you have to ask who your crazy neighbor is,
It's probably you. Bye, Bougie Crew. Thank
love
you,
you.
Maria.
Bye.
Yes, love you too.
Bye,
Thanks,
Benji
guys.
Mom. Be
Thanks,
good.
Bye-bye.
Maria.
Bye.
Bye, Benji.